Welcome to Stories from the Village of Nothing Much. Like easy listening, but for fiction. I'm Kathryn Nicolai. I write and read all the stories you'll hear on the Village of Nothing Much. Audio engineering and sound design is by Bob Wittersheim. In our show notes, you'll find links to our ad-free premium version, our other shows, and our merch and partner products. I know I just said this like a second ago, but it bears repeating. Welcome! I'm so glad you're here. I know we're just strangers on the internet, but I love knowing that we are about to take a walk together. At least that's the idea of this episode. Once a month, I lead you on a walking tour of some corner of the Village of Nothing Much. And dare I say that tonight's is a very special episode because it's spooky season. And while we often encounter what we might call ordinary magic in these stories, tonight we'll encounter the regular magical kind, the witchy kind. And hey, that's not for everybody. If it isn't for you, it's cool to skip it. In fact, let's just do a quick recap on this little rule of content consumption in the modern age, because it seems like a lot of folks have forgotten how this works. When you're listening, reading, scrolling, and you run across something that isn't for you, you can just move on to the next thing. You don't need to leave a comment or interact with it in any way. Just go find more of the stuff that is for you. And if you abide in the section of the Venn diagram where cozy overlaps with spooky, well, put your shoes on or snuggle up with your favorite blanket and cup of tea. And if you're new here and you're like, what is she talking about? What is this show? It's some feel-good, make-believe, some grown-ups Mr. Rogers cottagecore, especially if that cottage had vintage furniture and small dogs and could maybe sprout legs Baba Yaga style. Did that clear it up? Well, there's lots of episodes to help fill in the blanks, including the place that all of this started, the biggest sleep podcast in the world, my baby, Nothing Much Happens. Go follow over there too. And just because I think we'll both feel better, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh through your mouth. Do that one more time. Inhale and let it out. Good. Spooky season walking tour. I've been looking forward to this walking tour since our very first trip out together. As someone who's built a whole career and village of buddies around the idea of cozy community, I am deep in my bones an autumn. But I am especially an October. I know everyone doesn't feel this way, but to me there's a direct line from cozy cottage vibes to spooky season. You know, it's like a fire on a cold, dark night. Yes, that's good. But a teeny bit of eerie atmosphere to go with it, now that's peak experience. I think it's like driving with the top down on a cool day and you've got the heated seats on, or laying tucked up in bed while a storm rages outside. The juxtaposition of the two things makes them both sweeter. So thread your arm through mine. We might just get a few chills sent up our spines tonight, especially if Bob has anything to say about it. But we'll be together through it all. And yes, I want to thank you for moving our regular walk time to so late in the evening. It's a full moon tonight, so we'll have plenty of light to see by. And I think to really enjoy these very special spots in the Village of Nothing Much, we need some of the magic that only night can provide. We're starting here on the southern end of downtown tonight, just making our way past the yoga studio. It looks like they might be having a late night class. I know they have some additional offerings closer to equinox. Other than that, most of the shops are closed up for the night. I think the coffee shop might still be open. Yeah, I can see the reflection of their open sign in the window of the toy shop. But if you need a hot drink, we won't need to go down there for it. I've got you covered. So you may have passed by this spot a few times in the past and still never quite found it. The conditions have to be right for it to be located. In fact, the last time I visited, they were in a different location. Sometimes they're on the corner, sometimes they're by the train station. One evening, I swear, I found the shop in the sunken garden in the park. What's that? Is it a pop-up shop? No, that's not it. It's hard to explain, but I think it'll all make sense by the end of the tour. So like I was saying, conditions need to be right. And tonight, with the full moon, with me by your side, they are. So let your eyes start to focus on that empty storefront there. See that sign? It's just starting to swing in the breeze a bit. It's weathered and hand-carved. Oh, and it makes a lovely creaking sound. Whenever I'm trying to find the curios shop, that's what this special spot is called, by the way, I always start by listening for the creak, by looking for a bit of movement above doors. And you see it? Yes, it says curios. Now let your eyes travel down over the front window. You'll start to notice a gleam in the glass. Come on, let's get closer. The more you look, the more you see. Notice the wood trim around the window and door, how it's full of these small carvings. These are sigils, little protective symbols that keep the shop and anyone who connects with it safe and cared for. That's actually part of the meaning of the word curios. I mean, it means interesting and unusual objects, but its etymology is tied into care as well as curiosity. The sigils are of bees and paw prints. There are little keys and runes. This one looks like a bird. I always try to memorize them when I'm here, but a visit to the curios shop is a bit like a vivid dream. It's so real and sensory when it's happening, but it fades and might even disappear once it's done. In the window are some of their curiosities. There are lots of taper candles in a wide range of colors. That shiny disc, that's a scrying mirror for making predictions. There are decks of tarot, jars of herbs, and several things that even I don't recognize. Whew. Come on, the wind is really picking up. It's getting cold out here. Let's get inside before this place vanishes. Now take a second here with me. Let's see what we notice. I can hear the soft bubbling of a simmering pot. The light in here is low, mostly candlelight, and a few lamps draped in scarves. So there are shadows everywhere. And it smells like dried herbs and flowers, a bit like incense. And everything looks like it has been here for a very long time. There are bookshelves that are absolutely crammed with old books. Some of them are so thick, their spines are as wide across as the palm of my hand. There's a fireplace on the far wall with comfortable-looking chairs grouped around it, and a curtain behind the desk that looks like it was just moved back into place. Well, let's explore a bit. I want to look at the herbs a bit closer. Oh, they have lavender from the lavender farm we visited last month. No surprise there, I guess. They have the oil, the sachets, and what a pretty wreath. Then this is eucalyptus. This is one of those scents that reminds me of my grandmother as soon as I smell it. She had a lot of dried eucalyptus in her house. It was the 90s, so it was probably from Pier 1 and spray painted purple, but still, it reminds me of Esther Juanita. That's a kind of magic, isn't it? When a scent or some detail in your day suddenly takes you back to a previous moment. One that you maybe didn't exactly forget, but it was sort of tucked into a box in the back of your closet. And then in an instant, it's there in your hand again. That's time travel, if you ask me. Did you hear that? Looks like they have sage, mugwort, hyssop, willow bark. I love these little glass bottles of herbs. I kind of want to buy all of these just because they look cool. Pennyroyal, skullcap, nettle. These are excellent names. Whoever named these herbs nailed it. Ooh, and smell this cinnamon broom. Now, I do buy one of these every autumn. I hang it above my door. It smells wonderful, but also for me, brooms are a sort of magical object, like keys and bells and bridges and doorways. A broom reminds me to sweep away the clutter, to keep my space, external and internal, clear of things that aren't helpful to me. No, I don't fly on it. Not this one. Come look at this case of stones and gems. Talk about magic. The combination of minerals and circumstances that had to come together for these to exist. Then for us to exist right here, to have the capacity to see them, right now to admire them, it boggles the mind. Oh, these are worry stones. I have one and I keep it in my pocket. You can rub your thumb over it like an ancient mystical fidget spinner. The one I have, here, you can hold it if you like. It's carnelian. It's supposed to help you feel courageous and restore vitality. You know, I've had a lot of moments where I could have gone in a less courageous direction with my life, with my work, with my love, with my own development. And I've always felt that being courageous doesn't mean that bad things can't happen. Just that my life won't be determined by fear. When I hold this in my hand, I remind myself that there is nothing that can happen to me that is scarier than spending my life being afraid that something might happen to me. Let's pick out a stone for you. I'll tell you about some of them, and you can have a think about what might be helpful to carry in your pocket. Okay, this is hematite for grounding, for stability if you feel unmoored. It's kind of silvery. This one, obsidian, protection from negative energy. Oh, this one is so pretty. I love moonstones. I wear a bunch of them in my jewelry. Moonstones are supposed to help with intuition, to help you interpret your dreams. Amethyst for sleep. It's funny that I don't have any of that. Well, my birthday's coming up. This pretty pink stone is rose quartz. For love, for friendship. I have a lot of rose quartz. A lot that I got myself when I was working on loving me more. Now I probably love myself, maybe slightly too much. I have a high self-esteem problem. You could get one of these stones with a hole in it. They occur naturally. Sometimes they're called hag stones or holy stones. And they're just for general better luck. While you're thinking about which stone calls to you, I'm going to go fill up this jar I brought with salt from the big barrel over there. You know how when you're cooking, pretty much everything can use a dash of salt? It's the same with spell work. See you in a few. Did you find a stone? Oh, good choice. No, that makes total sense for you. I would have picked out that stone for you. Okay, you definitely heard it that time, right? Where is the kitty? I can hear her, but I can't see her. Whoa. Come on back here with me. I want to see what that was. Cinder? She's usually not like this. I mean, I know she wants our attention, and that is not unusual for her. She frequently has something to share with the people who come in here, but she's usually a bit more subtle about it. She knocked this book off the shelf. Ooh, dusty. It's been in here a while. It looks just like an old journal. See, it's blank. Nobody ever wrote anything in it. But it looks so worn and used. Kind of weird. What? What do you mean you can read it? No, I can't see anything on these pages. Are you saying you can? Wow. Classic Cinder. She helps you discover your gifts. Wow. Well, I'd say this needs to go home with you then. I can't wait to hear about what you find in it. And I see that while we were browsing the herbs and the stones, it looks like the shop owner has brewed us up some tea. I told you we'd get a hot drink here. Let's sit in front of the fire. Pretty teacups and... Oh, she's left little place cards. So we each drink the correct blend. See, there's your name. This is one of her gifts. She's sort of a magnet, attracts others, helps them take the next step down their path. And I'd bet this particular tea blend has been crafted to open your third eye even wider. What does mine do? What's my branch of magic? Oh, it's the oldest kind. Storytelling, of course. Very herby. Mine has rosemary for remembrance, important for a storyteller who weaves so many narratives together. There's chamomile and cinnamon here for gentleness, and a bit of lemon peel to keep me awake while others doze off. Yours smells like it might have some peppermint in it. That's for discernment. And I think blue vervain to calm your nerves if all of tonight has been a bit much. And I think some calendula. That's to sweeten the experience. This is the perfect thing to send us on our way. It'll keep us warm on our walk. This is a walking tour after all. Are you ready to go? Cinder, can you put these purchases on my tab? Thanks. See you soon. Onward, my friend. Into the night we go. It's so strange to see the village all dark now. No one out. But the night air feels kind of good and invigorating after being in the warm shop. We'll take a left at the cafe and head down toward the depot. We're going just a bit out of town for the last stop on our tour tonight. Down this hill and around to the gate. See that gleam in the moonlight ahead? That's it. Gosh, I'm getting a little jumpy out here in the dark. I'm really glad that you're by my side. Okay, we're here. Yes, it is the cemetery. It's actually a very peaceful place. Let me just open the gate. Sometimes it sticks in the gravel. And if you don't want to come in, that's okay. You could just stay on the sidewalk, whatever you're comfortable with. As a storyteller, sometimes I come here for inspiration. I read the stones. I say the names. and wonder what their lives might have been like, who they loved, their favorite food, the first book they ever read, the last book they ever read. I guess as someone who watches over others as they sleep, I feel quite at home here. They sleep, we guard. In fact, speaking of guards, I brought a few cashews in my pocket for the murder of crows who live here. They are kind of keepers of this place, as are the trees and the flowers. I've noticed over the years that the graves are well kept. Like this one, the limestone is shining and clean. It's clearly been scrubbed, and very recently, but the marker is so old, it's unlikely that this person is being cared for by a direct relative. That means that there is someone who just does this out of respect. That's pretty great when you think about it. And this one, I don't know who this person was, but there are always candles set on top of their stone. I've never been here and not seen at least 2 or 3 resting there. And though they aren't lit now, they clearly have been. They've melted down. Someone lights them and sits, maybe right here on this bench. And when they're ready, blows them out and goes. And this person must have loved wind chimes because the branches above are full of them. That's a nice thought. To sleep under a canopy of sweet sounds. Now, here's a little bit of magic that has happened to me before when I'm here. I'll often feel drawn to one spot or another, a grave or a plaque on the monument there, and then think, I want to leave something, a small gift just to mark that someone was here and thinking of them. Yes? You feel that way too? Okay, well, check your pocket. Mine was empty after I fed the crows. But look, now there are a few sprigs of rosemary, tied with a ribbon. Did you find anything? Oh, a thimble? That's pretty special. Someone here must have loved to sew. Let's take a few moments. I want to place my token. I'll let you place yours, and then we can meet up at the gate. Thanks for coming here with me. I know it's not everyone's cup of witch blended tea, and that's okay. Except for breathing, almost nothing is for everybody. Now, our tour is almost over. But if you thought I'd leave you out here by the cemetery on a dark night just before Halloween, you are wrong. I'll walk you home. And we can check out some of the excellent Halloween decorations on display along the way. I love walking through dry leaves. It's so satisfying. And, oh, this is even better. Acorns? Come on, the pop of an acorn under your shoe? Talk about magic. In just a little while, these neighborhood streets will be full of trick-or-treaters. And I can't wait. I love it so much. I love the teeny ones who are kind of confused about what's happening. And I love the slightly bigger ones who are just authentically excited about their costumes and the candies. And then I love the ones that are right on the cusp of growing out of it and maybe feel a little embarrassed. Maybe they're out with a younger sibling. I just enjoy all of it. And I don't care how old you are. If you come to my door on Halloween, you are getting candy. I am not a Halloween Scrooge. Ooh, look at this house. Fun. So many orange and purple twinkle lights. And look at the pumpkins on the porch. They're already carved and lit. That's commitment. I applaud it. When I was a kid, I feel like you might see pumpkins on people's front steps for the week of Halloween, but that was about it. And now we've got these giant inflatable things and 20-foot tall skeletons and sound effects. And again, nothing's for everybody, but this stuff is for me. I just like seeing people get into the spirit of something. Get into the spirit of spirits. By the way, I know you know my sleepy voice, but did you know I also have a scary voice? I do. Are you ready?
There's room for one more.
Did I scare you? Hey, I'm vast. I contain multitudes. Whoa. Oh, that spooked me. Bats? That must have been bats. Up in this tree? Phew. Let's pick up the pace a bit, okay? We're just a block from home now. Wait, didn't we already pass this house? I remember the ghosts in the yard. That's weird. That house over there, by the way, for as long as I've told stories about the village, it's always been empty. I've never seen anyone there. But sometimes there's a light on. Like just a random light in a different room each time. And then after a while it goes out. And the grass is always perfectly cut. Look. But I've never seen anyone here to mow it. Even the leaves. Do you notice how there aren't any leaves on their lawn? The driveway is spotless. There's not a single acorn. What is going on with this house? Maybe I'm just working myself up, letting the October vibes startle me. That's probably it. Gosh, we're almost running now. That's your house up ahead, right? It's weird. It feels like it's not getting any closer. Do you see the eyes on that porch? What's that? I can't see who they belong to. There's just eyes. Oh. Oh my gosh. Crumb. It's just Crumb. Crumb, you scared the crap out of us. Go back in through your doggy door. It's bedtime. Good boy. Oh man. We made it. Hey, do you mind if I come in and catch my breath? Maybe we could make some hot cocoa and do a sort of post-mortem on tonight. Pun intended. Thanks. We can plan next month's walking tour. Something less exciting, maybe? Good.